doctors lost the answers, but she found the key. Empowering ladies, setting us free. Battling the storm with courage and grace. Shayna's got the wisdom to help you embrace. No more relying on pills they don't know. She's got the strength to help you grow. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step with Shayna. Finding the strength deep inside. Shayna Melissa takes us on this ride, from suffering to a life so free. Her healing touch, she'll set you free with a heart.
Hey guys. Do you guys have questions that are burning within and you wish you can get the answers? Today is special for those burning desires, answers you want, especially for my fellow nurses, teachers, and moms. I hope we can see me and hear me. I am Shayna Melissa Stockman, a nationally board certified nurse practitioner and registered nurse for well over 30 years, who empowers mostly ladies, especially autoimmune warriors and medical mysteries, to get and feel better even when the doctors and meds couldn't, wouldn't, or didn't. Today we have a very special episode. A lot of people are always asking me a lot of the same questions over and over and over and over from different people, or wanting to know, what about this? What about that? Where can I get the answers? So today's episode is all about answering your frequently asked questions. First, I wanted to bring some good news because I love starting off with good news. There is so much negativity and bad news in this world. We just had a Mother's Day celebration, so I just wanted to wish all the mommies out there a very happy Mother's Day. That's pictures of my grandma that helped to raise me in the 1970s. Yes, I'm dating myself. And my beautiful mommy, for without you, we would not be here today. So please give your mommies, grandmommies, adoptive mommies, fur baby mommies, those acting as mommies, a very special thank you. And also for the teachers and nurses, because we are just about finishing up. Happy Teachers Week and Happy Nurses Week. This is some of my fellow nurses and fellow nurse practitioners from the past couple of years, ones that were students of mine, former professors of mine, clients of mine, nurses' daughters who are clients of mine, and Miss Loretta Ford, for without you, where there would be no nurse practitioners today, because she was the very first nurse practitioner who created the NP program. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Moving right along. Woo, 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 woo. So thank you to all my fellow nurses for all you do for all of us. Give some extra loving to your fellow nurses. This is me. People ask, like, oh, how long have you been with my beloved grandma? In 1993, when I was a brand new RN. And the reason I show you this is people are asking me, um, what sets me apart? What education or training do I have, or what sets me apart from other providers? I've been a registered nurse and a nationally board certified nurse practitioner for over 30 years. And my grandma, God rest her soul, raised me in the 1970s with the powers of the plants. And I show you this for several different reasons. She raised me with plants instead of medicine. We used food as medicine. She would eat a banana every day for potassium and magnesium for her heart and her blood pressure, so she wouldn't need a pill. She taught me that my grandpa, who was a licensed pharmacist, died of a lethal prescription drug interaction. So she did not resort to medications first. So grandma taught me so much. So I have the background of being raised with food as medicine, using food for medicine, using naturopathy. She taught me how to attack the true underlying root causes to stop progression and reverse regression of diseases and disorders so that we did not need medications. She was using things like baking soda and powers of plants for their medicinal purposes. Grandma showed me that even though we have family history for certain genes like diabetes, there's certain things we could do to biohack and not have that gene for that disorder expressed, say for diabetes. And that was before there ever was a term for biohacking. Grandma also taught me how to attack the root causes before there ever was a school of functional medicine and so much more. So, those are some of the things that set me apart from the traditional doctors. I grew up this way, but then I also went for 5 college degrees in this and 4 nursing medical licenses and 30 plus years later. Sometimes we don't realize how far we come until we look back. The picture on the left was a wellness retreat I did 1 year ago. The picture on the right was when I just spoke for a few hundred fellow nurse practitioners and doctorates. And some of the feedback, thank you for all those that attended. I taught fellow healthcare professionals all about autoimmune disorders, how to recognize the early signs and symptoms, correct diagnostic testing to do, how to diagnose it, and healthier alternative options. Some of the feedback I got was I learned a lot. It was outstanding and it was very, very impressive. And that was from fellow AANP that is also a doctorate, fellow nurse practitioner. Those are the top 1% nationally of nurse practitioners. So thank you for all those that came. Now, the reason I show you the picture of this chef is you might want to eat at the restaurant where the chefs are eating, right? Or use the recipes or the ingredients the chefs are doing. So you might want to know, where are the chefs eating? Where are they food shopping? What restaurants are they going to? Well, if you look at where do the healthcare providers go for their education about autoimmune disorders, about recognizing early warning signs, about how to correctly order the correct diagnostic test, how to treat it with healthier alternative options. If you look at where the healthcare providers are going, a lot of them are now coming to me. Doctors, nurse practitioners, nurses, caregivers to treasured loved ones, as well as other healthcare professionals. So I want to enlighten you. Always look where the experts are going to get their information and maybe get it directly from the source. So a lot of healthcare providers, including my former doctors, are now looking for my expertise with autoimmune because they might not specialize in that. Now, moving right along. Oh, there we go. Next question. Where can I join your online community? We have other good news. We have a brand new school community. So if you're looking for an interactive, fun community where the fellow group members are interacting in a positive way, are sharing their experiences, what they've learned, helping you out, giving you feedback, maybe taking you by the hand and leading you further, because maybe they in the community, they've been through my 90-day program and they are now mentoring the newbies in the community. You can simply go to that link right there and find our new school community. It is I think school.com/autoimmune, what is that, dash or underscore expert dash alliance. So on school, just, yes, look for us there, school.com/autoimmune dash expert dash alliance dash, I think 4169 / about, or search my name or search Autoimmune Expert Alliance. On school, if you just search Autoimmune Expert Alliance, you should be able to get there. And if you look back at that slide, it clearly is showing you that myself, the autoimmune expert, is creating this alliance, this private community. I healed myself holistically without medications, and now I'm empowering my fellow healthcare advocates. If you're a nurse practitioner, a doctor, a caregiver of a treasured loved one, or other healthcare provider, or you have autoimmune disorders yourself, or you may, this is for you. It will show you trailblazing root cause techniques that have helped me and thousands of my clients literally around the world with my proven measurable outcomes. All right, so I hope to see you in the school community. Right now, it is free, but soon it may not be. So join now ASAP at school.com, search for Autoimmune Expert Alliance. All right, moving right along. Oh, I just received this recently. Here is one of the healthcare providers that I helped. She said, quote, "You quite literally saved my life back in the day." This is someone that I helped diagnose with their celiac disorder about 25 years ago. And now she is a healthcare provider herself. And I have so many clients like this. They have been to all the doctors, had all the tests, been to all the specialists, have no answers because they did not go to a good diagnostician that listened to their symptoms, that ordered the correct results, that interpreted them correctly, and put all the pieces of the puzzle together. So sometimes you might have gone for the endoscopy, colonoscopy, biopsies, and told you don't have celiac. And I do more extensive testing to get to the true underlying root cause. So if you feel the doctors aren't listening to you, I'm not bashing all of them. There are a couple of good ones. But if you feel that you are being gaslit, blown off, maybe you think your provider thinks you're exaggerating, or you're just getting older, but you know something's wrong and they're not listening to you and not ordering correct testing or deep enough testing or diagnosing it correctly, please reach out to me for a consult. I know I can help you. I offer video consultations like this, but privately, one-on-one. So it does not matter what state you're in or what country. Because of the internet and video consultations, I can have a private confidential consultation with you one-on-one as if you had flown all the way to New York and gotten a private visit with me. And I also offer in-person and online workshops, 90-day programs, and speaking engagements. Okay, moving right along. What's another FAQ we had up? Oh, people are asking me, oh my God, here's the season for the ticks. What can we do? First, I want you to know a little bit of the backstory behind this. The ticks are making a huge uproar this year. I call it the poor man's nuke. If you do a little bit of your research, you may realize that Lyme's disease was first discovered in Lymes, Connecticut. Why may that be? Well, possibly because it's not too far off of that island. I believe it's called Plum Island, where they did all the experimentations with animals and insects. And then maybe one of those little critters escaped. Hence, Lyme's disease was discovered in Lymes, Connecticut. There was a protection, if you will, for it. We got to watch our words here. In the 1990s, I was asked to give this out for Lyme's disease in the CVSs in the 1990s. The problem with it was people, after they got this for Lyme's disease, were testing positive in the blood work. So then, if they really were exposed to a tick and their blood work showed Lyme's disease, we don't know if it was from the protection or the actual infection. Then there was nasty side effects from it, some lawsuits, believe it or not, and they yanked it off the market. But now it's making a comeback. And now, since this Lyme's is making a comeback, people are finding boxes of ticks in the woods that were dropped there and on their farmlands. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but we do know that Bill Gates, right, has been talking about doing fake meat, getting rid of the cows, downsizing, that we should more eat insects for our protein. And now all of a sudden, these boxes are falling out of the sky with tons of ticks. The Lyme's disease protection is making a comeback. They have another patent for it. Go figure. So things that you can do to better your odds. One, keep your grass low, keep your trimmings, your landscaping trimmed. Try to wear white when you're outdoors. You see the white, the black tick will show up on the white a lot easier versus you wearing black sneakers. Try to wear long sleeves when possible. Take your socks over your pants, even tape them. I've actually used double stick tape on a blanket on the short grass and put the double stick tape around the perimeter of the blanket, because what happens is a tick went onto the blanket, got stuck on the double stick tape, never made it to where I was stretching and strengthening and doing exercises out in the sun to get my vitamin D. Other things you can do is wear a hat. So if one falls from the tree, it's on your hat. Do a frequent good tick check, even underneath your pants, under the shirt. There's certain herbs and plants to help scare away the ticks a little bit, and certain essential oils. Now, different essential oils are might have different potencies. So you might see one study where lavender worked better than lemongrass, or peppermint, or frankincense. That depends on the strength, the concentration of the essential oil. So you can plant maybe lavender in your yard, maybe lemon, cedarwood is good, bittersweet, lime on the grass might deter them a little bit. I make an essential oil blend and I mix whatever essential oils I have that tend to ward off ticks. If it's lavender, lemon balm, peppermint, frankincense, eucalyptus, geranium, you can use some citronella, thyme, or even grow some oregano in your yard. And please do tick checks often. That's all I want to say about that. Oh, I do want to mention the protection for this for Lymes. The pros and cons. Always. I'm not always opposed to these, but I'm opposed for mandating them. I just want you to make a truly informed, educated decision. It is going to be a series of 4 of these for the Lyme's disease. Since it's just making a comeback, we do not know the long-term effects of it. But keep in mind, in the 1990s, they stopped giving these because people didn't want them because they were getting nasty side effects and because their blood work was showing positive. Now, interesting story for my fellow nurses out there. You might realize with Lyme's disease, they do a quickie, cheap test, ELISA, and then if it's positive, they do a Western blot blood test. And you need 2 short-term antibodies, bands, IgMs, positive to be considered having a new infection of Lyme's, or 5 bands or more positive of the IgG, which are the long-term antibodies in the blood work. Now, since this vaccine for Lyme's came out in the 1990s, and a lot of people were testing positive for Lyme's because of the vaccine, not because of the infection, the Environmental Protection Agency and whatnot changed the blood test results. So now, technically, if you had certain bands that were positive from having the vax, that those will not be counted on your Lyme's blood work. So say you never had the protection for it, but you had a tick bite, and now you have 3 bands positive, and you have another 2 bands positive. Some of those bands that you have are not being tested for in the blood work because they're thinking that people that had the Lyme's protection have those bands positive, and they don't want to create a false positive on the blood work. So you could technically have Lyme's disease and only 3 bands show in the blood work because they are not testing for bands that could be positive, that might have been positive from this. So basically, you could have Lyme's disease and not test positive for it in the blood work. You need an excellent diagnostician, such as myself. Now, what else did I want to say? Oh, okay. Well, okay, we'll come back to this in a second. I also wanted to talk about this for another minute because people that had this for COVID, a side effect of this listed in their documentation was possibly an expression of the hantavirus. So if you got this for COVID, a possible side effect might be an infection with the hantavirus. And this is important because now the hantavirus has resurfaced a little bit, and it has been transferred not only rodent to human, but human to human through close contact. Now, I think there's going to be a scare to give you one of these for the hantavirus in the near future. Now, keep in mind, there was a patent for a protection of the hantavirus a few years ago. They already patented a hantavirus, one of these, a few years ago. And now it's starting to make a little comeback. And if you got the COVID protection, you might have increased your risk of developing the hantavirus. So I'm not opposed to these, but I just want you to make a truly informed, educated decision of all the side effects, the risks, alternatives, and we will not know long-term effects because it's new, okay? All right, that's all I want to say about that. You can reach out to me for a private consult and I will give you more information. Now, moving right along to that next photo that we had up, let me see what we had. Oh, okay. Here's some current events just from this past week. People ask me, girl, how do you have so much energy? Especially you had all those autoimmune issues. For those of you that don't know, I am a fellow autoimmune warrior myself. I was diagnosed with several autoimmunes, everything from asthma to IBS to MS and heart failure because of the autoimmune disorder. And I was maxed out. They tried me on all the meds. Fast forward, meds almost killed me a few times, taken them as prescribed. I don't take any meds. I have no flare-ups, no signs, no symptoms. In years, I holistically healed myself. Some of my doctors became my clients. And some people want to know how I have so much energy. Here's some of the events I did just this past week. Let me see here. Today is Wednesday, Tuesday. What was that? Oh, yesterday we had that beautiful event right there on the top left. Tuesday, I also did another event with lots of local entrepreneurs. Then, what was that? Monday, friends reached out to me, said, "Hey, I saw you in that new magazine. Thank you very much." That they said it was a great article. Sunday, I went out with a friend for Mommy's Day. And Monday, I saw Mamma Mia, my first sing-along movie that I went to since 2009 when Avatar 3D came out. A hyper person singing at the movies for 2 hours. We saw Mamma Mia with a whole bunch of nurse practitioners. Um, Wednesday, we had another networking event with entrepreneurs and so much more. I also went to dinner Monday night with a lot of nurse practitioners to keep up on the latest and greatest treatments for OCD, anxiety, and depression. So people ask me how I have so much energy with all my autoimmune disorder. I hope I can inspire and motivate you. The thing I had to do is get to the root cause. I noticed a lot of fellow autoimmune warriors that were taking the medications. They were sick more often, sick longer, with more severe symptoms because the meds were weakening their immune system. They were coming to the ER for my treatments more often. Their symptoms were lasting longer. They were more severe, and then they were getting side effects. I decided to do lots of research to do things differently than the doctors, attack the true underlying root causes. Because if we don't attack the true underlying root cause, your autoimmune symptoms are going to progress to get worse. And you're going to get more autoimmune issues and need more meds or more treatments. So let's go back to that one right there. Okay, so if you're exhausted, but you're told your tests are normal, you're just getting older. Is there something we can do? Yes. Or you're told you have Hashimoto's and you're on the correct medicine and the doctor's saying your dose is normal, there's nothing else we can do with you. And you're wondering, now what? There are a lot of other things we can do. That is not the be all to end all. You see, when you go to the endocrinologist or your PCB to treat your Hashimoto's, they're treating the thyroid, but they're not treating the true underlying autoimmune disorder. So there are a lot of things we can do, even if you're exhausted, even if you're told your tests are normal. A lot of times they didn't order the correct test, or they misinterpret it, or they're not putting the pieces of the puzzle together. Or you're on the medicine for the Hashimoto's, but that's treating your thyroid. They're not treating your underlying autoimmune disorder. And you're asking, now what? Well, let's see what else you can do. What's our next slide? Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Well, of course, you can reach out to me for a private video consultation, our upcoming workshop, or 90-day program. The reason is when you go to the doctor and you ask them to see how your thyroid's doing, they might just do this one test, this TSH test, right? Or a little bit of the thyroids. But They're not ordering enough tests at the correct time and interpreting them correctly. Sometimes the normal range is 300 to 1100, and your number is not optimized for you. And they're not checking other things. The truth bomb number one, if you have Hashimoto's or you think you might have a thyroid issue, is you don't have a thyroid problem, yet you're going to the thyroid doctor. You see, Hashimoto's is an autoimmune problem. You need to go to the autoimmune specialist. But in the sick care system that takes your insurance, there is no autoimmune expert. Hence, I am the autoimmune expert. So instead of just going to the thyroid doctor for Hashimoto's and an autoimmune issue, you need to go to the autoimmune expert, me. An- Ding! Another truth bomb. Let's throw that back up there again. Oh, no, let's go back. Okay. Now, also, then your symptoms, well, if you just go on the thyroid medicine, they're not treating the underlying autoimmune. So those underlying autoimmune issues are progressing to get worse. And that makes sense why you're not feeling more energetic, why you're still gaining weight. Your symptoms are worsening. And then if your underlying autoimmune issue is not addressed, most people will develop multiple autoimmune issues. So symptoms will continue to get worse. You will continue to develop more symptoms and additional underlying autoimmune issues because the true underlying cause is not addressed. That's where I work differently. I will check your thyroid. I will check you for autoimmune, inflammation, what you're deficit in, nutrients, inflammatory markers, genetic markers, and so much more. Give you a more comprehensive image of what's going on. Now, I have the capabilities, no matter what state you're in, you don't have to fly to come and see me. I have the capabilities to do a video consultation with you in any state or a country. And a lot of times, I can put the laboratory diagnostic testing through your insurance. So you don't have to spend thousands of dollars more going out of network for testing. And I have the capabilities to connect you with providers in your area to also order the testing through your insurance. And that's also what sets me apart. A lot of the providers out there are going to send you for expensive testings because they mark them up. I do not mark up any of the testings I send you for. Most of them you can do through your insurance. And if I find there's ones you can't do through your insurance, I will connect you with a national laboratory or international laboratory to get you the best price, well less than you would have paid through your insurance. Okay, moving right along. Okay, another FAQ I get. And guys, I'm so glad you're here because this is not only saving you time to knowing the answers to my frequently asked questions, but it's saving me time from repeating this 100 different times. Now, people ask me all the time, which test should I get? What supplements should I take? Now, I individualize it to the person. If you're going to buy a car or a house, do you want them to offer you the same exact car or the same exact house they would offer you as somebody else? Or would you like them to offer you a house or a car based on your unique needs, right? Like say you are single and ready to mingle and looking for a car. I might recommend a two-seater Corvette. But if you have a family of 6 and on a budget, I might recommend a minivan. So please, when it comes to testing and supplements, it is not one size fits all. It's most important that you either have a private confidential consultation with me, a discovery call, a deep dive paid consultation, or hop on one of my in-person or online classes, courses, workshops, or the 90-day program, because it is not a one size fits all. If that's the case, when you walk into a restaurant, they would give you the same thing they give the other 100 people. But maybe you don't like chicken parmesan, or maybe you're a vegetarian. So we need to cater the supplements you need and the testing you need to your unique needs. And how I do that is I base it on what symptoms you have, what runs in your family, what tests have you already had, what tests were positive, what tests were negative, what meds have you tried, what worked for you, what didn't work for you. So there's so much more. So please just don't ask me, what test should I get? what supplement should I get? Because it is not one size fits all. If one doctor gives you the same exact treatment they would give 1,000 other people that are 2 years old and 100 years old, 300 pounds and 50 pounds, you might want to run, okay? Ding! Okay. FAQ, let's keep moving along. Uh, Now, you might ask, sorry about that. You might ask, okay, great. I'm ready for your course or your class or your workshop. What do I do next? Great. You're going to mark your calendar and go to this website. You can scan that QR or go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. Mark your calendar for Wednesday, May 20th at 7 p.m. EST. It doesn't matter what state or country you're on because it's on a Zoom like video setting. And it's not pre-recorded. It is totally live. And I'm not dragging it out over 5 days or 3 days. It is one day, and the free session is just 1 hour. There are hundreds of hours this month. You are worthy. You are deserving of at least one to treat yourself to getting and feeling better. So if you don't know what your next step is, you're going to mark your calendar for Wednesday, next Wednesday. It's already next Wednesday, May 20th, 7 p.m. EST. Then you're going to scan this QR code, or if you're watching from your phone, go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim and claim your free or VIP seat. I don't think I will ever offer this again for free. If you've attended a prior workshop, there is all new content. So please come and come again. It's like a movie. Ever watch a movie a second time or a third time and you're picking up more nuggets that you didn't realize? So if you've come before, there's new content, come again. I don't think I'll ever offer free again. And I don't think I will ever offer this much in the VIP for this little. It was supposed to be only $97, but my assistant made an accidental mistake and put it for $47. So I said, fine, just keep it. The VIP, the difference is this. The free is free. It's going to give you general information. But if you want a quicker transformation, a deeper transformation, definitely level up to the VIP. The VIPs are going to get the digital and printable workbook with all the notes. They are going to stay on for an extra power hour on Zoom for deeper dive gold nuggets. They're also going to stay on after that for a live Q&A session with hot seats where you get answers to your specific, unique individual problems in real time that night on the video, on the Zoom. And the VIPs will also get a private one-on-one consultation with me to be done at a future date. That will give you so much more information because general information is general, but during the VIP, that's where you will get a deeper transformation and a much quicker. So if you want a true transformation and you want a much quicker, like the express checkout line and the VIP experience, definitely hands down when you register for free. Currently, there are still VIP seats. When you register for free, if there are still VIP seats available, you will be leveled up to VIP. I am limiting the number of no cost and VIP seats because I want it to be an intimate experience and I want to be able to answer multiple people's questions. So just go to worldwellnessexpert.com/VIP, /reclaim. Don't ask me when the next one is because there's not going to be another one like this. I don't think there's ever going to be free. And I don't think there's ever going to be a VIP with that much information for that little again. Okay, moving right along to the next question. I get this one a lot. Well, I have a friend who has this or has that or has autoimmune or has MS. Or I just got this one. Hey, I have an ex who was diagnosed with MS like you. How do I introduce you? How do I connect you? The easiest thing is let them go attend the workshop. Give them that link, worldwellnessexpert.com reclaim and have them level up to the VIP. This way they get to know, like, and trust me. And the VIP will include, like I said, digital and printable workbook, an extra hour after the workshop for a deeper dive. It's going to include, after the extra hour, live Q&A session where they can ask me questions on the Zoom. And the VIPs will get a mini consult with me. That entire package for less than the cost you'd spend on a lunch and a fraction of what I normally charge for a consult. So if they miss this, they can pay full price on my package for a deep dive consultation. So this is a great way for them to save a lot of money and get triple the amount of my time than I would offer in a consult for literally less than like a 12th of the price or less. Okay. So, yeah, less than, like, I don't know, 10% of my normal consultation price. So that I would say is introduce them, let them know, like, hey, Shayna suffered from autoimmune like you, but she's also a board certified nurse practitioner for 30 years. This is her area of expertise. Come to her live workshop. It's on Zoom. It's free. You can register here. If you really want a quicker transformation and a mini consult for 47 bucks, make sure you level up to VIP and mark your calendars for May 20th. And you know what? Attend it with them, because it's more fun when you do it, when you have an accountability partner where you can remind each other, hey, did you get on? Hey, remember it's tonight. Hey, I'm logging on now. Did you get the email? So again, you can scan that or go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim, claim your free seat. If there's still VIPs, you will be offered a VIP seat after that for only $47. Do it, because it ain't never going to be that price again. And do we have more after that? Is that our last slide? Oh, we got more. Okay, here's another FAQ. Do you accept? I want to get through all these. Thank you guys for your patience and for tuning in and tuning out. I get this a lot. Do you accept insurance? I used to, I don't anymore, because you know what? Insurances would stiff me tons of money. It would be a year and a half later. They still didn't pay me. I'd have to send collection agencies after them. And I wasted more time on that. Plus, a lot of the healthy things they don't even want to cover. So I do not accept insurance, but I do accept if you have FSA, flexible savings account, HSA, savings account, flexible spending account, healthy savings account. I do accept every major form of credit card: Visa, Master, Discover, Amex, Zelle, PayPal, Venmo, payment plans. So you can use your flexible spending down and your HSA. This one recent client of mine, within 3 days, she already got approved for her FSA claim, that it was approved for full 100% reimbursement. And how they do that is, I know your restrictions, the rules, what gets denied, what gets approved. I have all the documentation lined up already to give you to submit to get 100% reimbursement for your tax-free dollars. That's your FSA or your HSA accounts. And I look at it like this: when you spend for a consultation with me, I'm actually saving you a fortune, because if I help get to the not if, when I help you get to the root cause of your problem, I stop it from getting worse and I reverse it. And when that happens, often the symptoms greatly reduce or go away altogether. And when the symptoms reduce or are eliminated, often we don't need the medications to treat the symptoms that aren't there. And without the meds, we don't have side effects, dependencies, overdoses, deaths. And then without the meds, you're saving a fortune from going to all those doctors, the deductibles, what's covered, what's not covered, the donut hole, all of those prescription copays each and every month for the next 20 years to come. So I look at it as a savings. And I do accept every form of payment out there. If you have out of network benefits, you can probably use them as well and probably get reimbursed for that. And I will discuss that with you on a discovery call at, I think, worldwellnessexpert.com/our services. That's a 15-minute call to see if we're a good fit to each other. That is not to diagnose you and treat you in a discovery call. Okay. Next. Okay, other tests covered. A lot of times, most of the providers out there that you find on the internet are going to order expensive tests that are not covered because they mark them up. They get them, say, for $200 and they charge you $1,000. I do not mark up any lab or diagnostic or urine or stool or blood or sputum specimens that I get. I pass along the savings to you. And how does that work? When you ask me, are the tests covered? I have ways, no matter what state you're in, is often to get those tests covered by your insurance. And if I think there's a test that will not be covered by your insurance, I work with national and international laboratories to get you the best price, no matter what state or country you are in. And here's a prime example. There was a test that was billed through the insurance for $152. The insurance denied it. Then the lab sent the patient the bill for $152. If that patient had come to me for that test and we worked through a lab that I work in conjunction with, that test would have been $11. So sometimes going through the insurance for a test costs you more money because that person went through the insurance, the test was denied, cost $152. But if they went outside of the insurance to one of these other laboratories I deal with, the test would have been $11. And another example, I just did over $1,000 of blood work recently on myself, and it cost me less than $300. And I know another one of my new clients did testing through someone else online. And then they added this test, that test, and these millions of supplements on board. Before you know it, they spent $10,000 and did not feel any better and then came to me. So I know I could save you a fortune. Most of the testing I'm going to recommend, you probably already had it, or it is covered by your insurance, or I can get it greatly reduced for you. Next question. Dun, da, da, da. Oh, okay. Now, oftentimes people ask me, with alternatives. Doctors sometimes don't believe in alternatives because they say, oh, there's no proof in them. I want you to know a lot of my material is copyrighted, is trademarked, is proven valid beyond my scope, but in with national, state, and local requirements and organizations. For instance, here I covered a lot of the identifying information out, but I proved here in this retrospective study, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that my integrative nurse practitioner interventions have proven measurable outcomes. So these are not just clients saying, I feel better, or a placebo effect. I tested my clients in 10 major areas. Each of these areas had multiple measurements within, plus an 11th area called quality of life. And I have their measurements before and after my NP interventions showing that we have proven measurable outcomes. And in some of the areas, they might include their kidney function, their liver function, their glucose, their cholesterol, inflammatory markers, and so many other markers beyond a shadow of a doubt that my integrative interventions have proven measurable outcomes that are replicated and duplicated time and time and time and time and time again with patients. And can we go back that one last slide? How I work differently is you see right here, that middle column, all of these integrative, holistic, naturopathic, all of those I merge and fuse together. Most providers use one modality. They just practice traditional medicine, or they just practice naturopathic, or they just practice integrative or functional or genetic. I merge all of these together. I use old school naturopathy, plant-based medicine with cutting edge genetic medicine to work on a cellular level. I integrate all of these forms in together. I look at the holistic approach, body, mindset, and spirit. I look at naturopathy, plant-based ingredients when possible. I look to identify and attack the true underlying root cause, which some people call functional medicine. But the truth is, if I attack the true underlying root cause, I usually don't need the medicine. So I don't like that term. I look at a genetic level, a cellular level. I use biohacking techniques. I am looking to reduce, after I identify and attack the true underlying root causes, I can often address them. And then once those issues are addressed, I can stop progression and often usually reverse it. And then I can eliminate your reliance on medication. And many, many, many of my clients, I am able to taper them down on their medicines, or a lot of them, often I am able to taper them off all of their medications. And a lot of times they feel better because now they're not getting the side effects, the weight gain, the hair thinning, the mood swings, and so much more. So I've done this time and time again with a lot of autoimmune warriors around the world. Um, and my cholesterol is the best my cardiologist has ever seen in his entire career. Okay, do we have any more slides? Let's see what's next. Okay. Now, for those of you that don't know me, I suffered a lot of autoimmune issues myself. I was left feeling helpless and hopeless. And I tried this and tried that. I felt like a guinea pig with the doctors. They thought it was either in my head, they gaslit me, your tests are normal, you're just getting older, you'll have to deal with it. And I had to do years of research, literally speak with world-renowned doctors and scientists. And I've worked out, I know what works and doesn't work. Between, I was not only just the patient, I also have 5 college degrees, 4 nursing medical licenses, and 30 plus years experience. And I've healed myself. So I can relate to you as the patient as well. I wrote about it in a book that reached #1 internationally, Overcoming Life Obstacles. I encourage you to get it on my website, worldwellnessexpert.com. Also, a lot of my former doctors are my clients now. So, like I was saying before, if you look at where the chef goes to buy his ingredients or to go to a restaurant, look at where the doctors are learning the trailblazing techniques on autoimmune. Myself, I just taught a few hundred healthcare professionals at the Crest Hollow all about autoimmune disorders. So, if you want to go where they're learning it from me. So I encourage you once again to join our upcoming workshop. And that's just going to be, okay, right here at worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. Claim a free or a VIP seat. Here's another example. Wait, let's go back one. Okay, here's another example that I just had someone the other day like, hey, I have such a busy lifestyle. A lot of people like, hey, can I do your 90-day program or your workshop in your busy lifestyle? The answer is yes. The workshop's not 5 days, it's not 3 days, it's one day, and the free part is only 1 hour. So yes, in your busy lifestyle, you can do this. And also in your busy lifestyle, you can even do my 90-day program. It's bits and pieces throughout the week that are really going to move your needle forward. When you look back at this example here, I want to show you in your busy lifestyle, we do quick, simple swap outs. Now, say you drink a sugary drink, right? Once a day for 7 days a week. That's 7 drinks a week. Now, an average sugary drink could have anywhere from 200 to 900 calories. Just by switching to a healthier energy drink like I have, that only has a few calories and a few carbs in it. In your busy lifestyle, this is a quick, simple swap out that you can do. So if you swap out that 500-calorie drink for a low calorie drink like I do, and you do that one less sugary drink a week, 7 days a week, you're gonna save, figure this out, 500 calories a drink, 7 drinks a week, 1 drink a day for 7 days. That's 3,500 calories you save just by swapping out that 500-calorie drink for a low calorie drink like I do. Now, when you do that, you're saving that 500 calories per drink 7 days a week. You're saving 3,500 calories. The magic of that number is you just dropped 1 pound without having to go to the gym, buy expensive equipment. So yes, if you ask, can I do this in my busy lifestyle? I am a CEO. I am a super high achiever. Yes, I am a super high achiever. I made this specifically for super high achievers to do in your busy lifestyle. So just by swapping out a 500-calorie a day drink for a healthy low cal energy drink like I do, you could save 3,500 calories a week and drop a pound per week. So at that end of the month, you already dropped 4 or 5 pounds. So yes, can you do this in your busy lifestyle? Yes. And you see that other link right there, worldwellnessexpert.com/calorie calculator. That is an app that I created to help you decide how many calories you need to eat and burn to lose how many pounds you want by whatever deadline you like. So you just go to that calculator, you type in how many pounds you want to drop by what time frame, what your height is. It'll calculate it all out for you and give you an idea of how many calories you should safely consume to hit your target goal by your target date. So yes, you can do this. And in fact, in my busy lifestyle, my body age just went down 3 years. In fact, for those of you that don't know, I am well into my 50s and my body age is only in the 30s right now. I have the body of a 30-year-old. Oh my God. What a lucky man someone is. All right, moving right along. Dun, 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 dun. What else we got? So it is time. If you're like, hey, what's next? I don't know what to do. You gave me a lot of information. You're going to mark your calendar for Wednesday, May 20th, 7 p.m. EST. You're going to go to this, scan this QR code right now, or go to that link right now, worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. Claim your no cost or VIP seat. Again, I don't think I'll ever offer this at no cost again. And again, I don't think I will ever offer the VIP that much and include a private confidential consultation for only $47. So simply choose free or VIP seat. If you really want a transformation, figure it like this. If your doctors couldn't help you in the past few years, you need a little more than that free hour. You need to level up to the VIP. Who doesn't like a VIP experience, right? If somebody's going to offer you, hey, you want a VIP seat on the plane? You would like to be VIP for that movie or that concert? Of course. The VIPs are going to get a true red carpet. They're going to get the digital and printer-friendly Reclaim Your Life blueprint with all the notes, the worksheets to move your needle forward. They're going to get an extra power hour on Zoom for a lot of gold nuggets. They're going to get an extra live Q&A session after that extra power hour to get answers to your specific unique needs. Then the VIPs are also getting a private one-on-one consultation with me for less than this. And I gotta say, this is less than this. The whole cost of this entire package is less than 10% of what I charge for a consultation. Okay. So it's not going to change my life if you do this or not, but I know it can help yours. Can I move your needle forward in the free session? Yes, a little bit. If you really want a true transformation and a quicker transformation, because we're all about the need of the speed, you want to level up to the VIP. Oh, the VIPs are also going to get not only the Zoom access, the extra hour, the Q&A session, the hot seats, answers to your questions, the biohacker tracker, which is going to help me see your strengths, your weaknesses, the self-assessment survey. That is a humongous tool to help me discover all of your unique needs, your strengths, your weaknesses. You're also going to get the blueprints with the notes, the worksheets, the replay. Only VIPs are getting the replay. You're going to get a one-on-one consultation for personalized, individualized attention. You're also going to get and entries into the randomizer. Only the VIPs are going to be raffled off to win the cool prizes at the end. And there are some really cool prizes, gift certificates to restaurants for $150, limited merch, and so much more. And it's not even $97, it's $47. There are limited seats for the no cost and the VIP. So choose wisely, pick now. And then it's more fun when you do it with friends and family. So if you're thinking about someone you know that's exhausted, in pain, weird rashes, autoimmune issues like Hashimoto's, IBS, Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, celiac, MS, rheumatoid arthritis, or any other autoimmune issue or a medical mystery, or they're going to the doctors, they're on all the meds, they still feel like crap. This is for them. If you're a healthcare pro that wants to help your autoimmune warriors, this is for you. If you're a caregiver of a healthcare pro and you're taking care of your spouse, your child, your parent who has autoimmune, and maybe they're not going to come to a workshop, you can take the gold nuggets back to them. I encourage you to register, invite them, but just give them the registration link so they can get the Zoom access and the password and have entry on as well. That's all I want to say is I hope to see you next Wednesday, the 20th at 7 p.m. EST. Register at worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. Claim your free or no cost seat. Mark your calendar. Invite others to register on that same link you are registering. Join with them. Remind them it's upcoming. And then check your emails for all the nuggets. When you level up to VIP, you're going to get an email with the workbooks, the worksheets, the biohacker tracker, the self-assessment survey to book your private consultation, and so much more. So I want to thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and I hope to see you next Wednesday to reclaim your one life, because you know what? You only have one life. If somebody offered this to me, I would have loved this. You see, I was in heart failure, and even the doctors and the cardiologists and the rheumatologists didn't know what to do with me. If someone was to lay a hand out to me and say, "Here, I've already overcome this. I know how to do it. I'm going to show you the way." Hell, I take that hand. What the hell are you waiting for? I was ready to remortgage my house and spend $100,000 for the correct specialist out of network, but I couldn't even find them for that price. And so you know what? You got nothing to lose at $47, and I hope to see you there.
Finding the strength deep inside. Shayna Melissa